fishing hole. Grab your hat, get your pole. Let's go fishing when you're in the mood.
Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Blue Cam, a cleaner running engine for a cleaner environment.
I love to fish all season long. It doesn't matter if I'm sweating in the hot Florida sunshine or chilling on a frozen northern lake. I like the idea of being able to pursue my favorite sport, which is fishing all season long in all different weather. Okay, Joe, because you're my guest and you saw the flag go first, I want you to show me how to get the walleye. Now, you're not just going to set the hook, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now I'm going to check if the fish is still on or not.
Yeah, you've done this before.
Oh, yeah. We got the fish on still.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to wait to make sure it's take the little minnow.
Yep.
Now I hook it. It's on.
All right. Good job, Joe. I'm going to get on this side and grab and bring it up.
Okay, you're going to grab
doing
it
good.
when I got it up.
Yep. Up here. Oh, it's a nice little walleye. Look, good eating size, Joe. Do you like to eat walleye, Joe?
Not a small one like that.
No, this is a baby. Okay, we don't want him to get too cold. There he goes.
Italo, there is another bite on the other side.
Okay, you know what? Go, run, run, run. Ice anglers, much like open water anglers, have a favorite species of fish that they like to go after. Some like to go for big panfish like jumbo perch, others pristine trout like brook trout or rainbow trout, and still others big walleye and northern pike. It doesn't matter which fish you go after. If you have the right gear and the right conditions, if the ice is safe, you can catch them all winter long. Joe, we had a bite. You're not running?
No, not necessary.
Okay.
We're able to come here if the fish is still on.
We'll see. There was no resistance, so maybe it's still on. All right, Joe.
We got it.
I like the way you're very calm. That means a lot of experience. Okay, Joe, he's right at the hole. I'm going to help you. Come on. Look at that. Nice walleye, Joe. He is a little bit bigger. I like the way you've hooked him, Joe. Look, just right there. Look how light he is, Joe.
You know why? Because the water is perfectly clear.
What a beautiful walleye. They don't have to be big, you know. When you get them, they fight so good. Come on, give me that wave. There, I gave him a little bit of help. Each specific fish species have very different environments they like to live in the wintertime. Most of the fish move out from the shallow water and they like to be in the main lake basins. That's away from shorelines, sometimes around structure. Nice hook set, Joe. Did you pull the hook out? Is he gone?
No.
You know, I haven't had a fish yet.
No.
You don't feel bad?
Then pick up a TipNJIg and catch one.
I've been handling your fish. Perfect, Joe. You know what, Joe? They're getting bigger.
Always.
Look.
The first one, the second one, the fourth one, you're going to get it, Italo,
Look
because
at
it's
this.
going to be a giant.
Here, high fives. There, perfect, good job. Look at this beautiful fish. He's nice and thick. You could get some really nice fillets, but you know what? We're being sportsmen today. We're releasing all the fish, so watch. We're gonna get the tail action. He is gone, Joe. That's 3 in a row. Now we got to rebait. Now
One
the work
after
starts.
other.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Cable's Eyewear Retainer, Lightweight, comfortable, adjustable, and waterproof.
Today I decided to target walleye. Now walleye are one of my favorite fish to catch all season long, but in the wintertime, walleye like to feed in deeper water, anywhere from 15 to 25 feet deep. Some of the best areas to target them is very large flats that are in between the shallower water and the main lake basin. The only challenge is that those walleye during the middle of the day will be very inactive. So if the flat is large, that means cutting a lot of holes and literally finding the fish. Early and late in the day though, they move around and they're actively feeding. So the fishing is much hotter. Joe, nice fish. Do you want me to reel it in for you? Do you need help?
No, I think I'm gonna do it because I'm a selfish fisherman.
Nice walleye. Look at this. They're very healthy fish, eh, Joe? Look it, isn't that a nice walleye? Look the way he's holding his fin up.
Yeah, but he's a little bit angry.
Yeah, a little bit. He says,
You take the minnow away from him.
he's saying, let me go. Maybe he ate it because it wasn't on the
Yeah.
hook. What a nice walleye. Look, there he goes. Bye-bye, fish. Man, that water is cold. Now, Joe, when did you start working on the TipNJIg? A month ago? When did you design it?
No, the first TipNJIg was 30 years ago.
Now, the trigger system, I haven't seen such an accurate trigger system that any little bite activates it.
I never learned it from nobody. That's my own design.
What about the hook in the handle that doesn't allow the fish to pull it into the water if you
That
get a big
also
one?
is my design because I see some ice fishing system is fall in the hole. This one is not able to fall in the hole.
Walleye have very good eyesight and they can also sense vibration extremely well. That's one of the reasons why they can feed really well under low light conditions. Normally they like to feed near the bottom. So if I'm using a jigging presentation, I'll normally use something that looks like a small minnow and I'll literally shake it right on the bottom. Man, this wind is getting stronger. This fish looks like he's still on there. What I like about this TipNJIg system is that you can very gently take it off. All right, look at another nice walleye. You know, these fish aren't huge, but they're great fish to get through the ice. And these are actually perfect eating size, but we're releasing them all. So watch this, he's just gonna glide right out of my hands. He's ready to go, so we should get a nice tail wave. He's gone. Now, because we've got very windy conditions and the ice is very sheer, there's very little snow, we've actually had to pack the snow down on the base. If the ice is sheer and there's no snow, it's a good idea to use a screw bolt and to actually put it right in the center of the base. That way there's no way that the wind can blow the tip up over, and even a big fish, if he engages it, won't be able to pull it down. To help me locate winter walleye, I normally look at the terrain that's surrounding the shorelines in the areas that I want to fish. Usually I look for a terrain that's got a little bit of a faster dropping taper because that tells me that it's close to deeper water. I walk out and I literally check the depth either with the sonar once I cut my hole, or I let down my line and see how deep it is that way. When I find the right depth, I usually pre-cut anywhere from 5 to 15 holes, 30 to 50 feet apart, and in an irregular pattern. And once I'm done all the holes, then I either set up my tip-up outfits or I start jigging. Okay, Scotty, I'm a gentleman. Listen.
You are a true
Thanks for
gentleman.
inviting us fishing today. I'm gonna let you work this one. Hopefully he's still on there.
I hope so too. That was a
Nice
good run.
and easy, nice and easy.
That was a good run.
This wind makes things interesting, let me tell you.
Nice.
Look at this.
Nice
Nice
color.
walleye. Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah,
Look at
beautiful color.
They're not monster fish,
No.
but you know what? For guys that like to eat walleyes, that's a perfect eating size.
Absolutely.
And I had my pliers out, and I don't even think we need the
No, you
pliers.
don't.
That hook is just going to fall out.
Perfect.
Look at nice little walleye. Because it's cold, we're going to slide him right back into the water real quick. There he goes. For those of you that may not know, Scotty Martin has this great feature every Wednesday, once a week, that he posts called Walleye Wednesdays. And on that feature, he highlights other fishermen that love to fish, especially for walleye. But what he really does best is promote catch and release. I understand while we're filming here, you've got a whole group of kids from high school that came all the way from Kingston to fish with you.
Kingston, Ontario, they're 3.5 hours away. I had the pleasure of fishing with Jacob Randall about 3-4 weekends ago, and it was his passion that got me interested in maybe providing them a place because they haven't had a lot of safe ice. Bring them out here. James Mathias took us on a beautiful trip, showed us some great backward lakes, and I met Jacob along the way, and I thought, you know, let's put the two together and have you out here as an icon to meet them, and it's working out really well.
Well, I talked to some of them. They're pretty well all catching fish,
Yes.
which is great. Walleye definitely have preferred feeding times. Most walleye fishermen know that walleye love to feed under low light conditions. In some cases, they can feed all night if they have enough light, especially if it's a bigger moon phase. But during the day, if it's an overcast day, they will be extremely active all day long. The only problem is that if it's bright, sunny skies, they can be very lethargic and they can only turn on for maybe an hour or two, and sometimes you won't get any action for 2 or 3 hours in between. I think the fish have an advantage on us today.
I think so too.
We're not so mobile. You know, this is a lot of fun. We're not getting monsters.
Nope.
And you know what? I tell people it's not about the size, it's about the experience.
Absolutely.
You know, you got to go slow when you get them around the hole. May not be a big fish, but you don't want it to get the hook caught, you know, or the head on the bottom of the ice. Tell you what, this light action rod is perfect. And it's nice that you can change to the other ones, right?
Isn't that something?
There we go. Nice walleye.
Nice fish.
What a nice
Absolutely.
looking fish.
Absolutely.
Yep. He says, enough in your world. Perfect. Good release. You know what? I'm going to get the minnow pail.
Okay.
A walleye's favorite area to feed is near the bottom, whether it's summertime or wintertime, especially in the middle of the day. My strategy when it comes to ice fishing is to cut holes where I can jig fish, but also set up tip-ups. Now in some lakes, walleye will be more partial to live bait. I fish some lakes where you can jig and you'll get very few fish, but if you leave a tip-up set up with a live minnow, that catches the majority of the fish. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Come on. You can see I've got my back to the wind because that wind's got to be howling at like 40 miles an hour. Oh, nice walleye. I'm amazed that these fish are still hitting with this cold front conditions that we've got in this strong wind. What a gorgeous fish. You know what? I'm not going to hold him out of the water too long. He's going to go back in. There he goes. Now, you know, I am amazed at this great outfit that Joe has created. I had the chance to actually visit their place. It's called Moldex, where they make the TipNJIg. And I saw how diligent he is. You know, I was up in his office and I was watching him, constantly testing, checking the tip-ups. So he really supervises everything from the molding actual process downstairs, talking to the guys that actually work on creating these things and actually pumping them out. And it's amazing. Here's a good example of a man who's 84 years old. He still has his passion for fishing, and he gets out and does it, even on a cold day like today. And you can see that he's produced an item that is really going to help fishermen catch more fish. I love the way you set the hook. You don't mess around.
Well, it's gonna get in there whether it likes to or not.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh, I see color.
Yeah, the ice is so sheer that you can see right down.
You're not gonna believe this, Italo.
Oh boy, look at the
right.
size. Have you caught perch like this here before?
We have.
That's huge.
But I tell you, talk about being on cue. This couldn't have been scripted any better.
Man, that is a true, that's gotta be like 11 inches. You know what, hold that to the camera, show everybody. You don't even have to put your arm out like this. That is a huge fish.
It's got a belly like I do.
Look at that. I got a feeling it's going to say bye-bye. Man, what a nice fish. Now, you know, walleye are part of the perch family, so I'm not surprised. They get along really well. I know walleye love to eat perch. So that fish looked like a big female, and I'm hoping she's going to have a good spawn. When I'm fishing a tip-up, I like to use a very simple rig. I use light line, 6 or 8 pound test. I use a fluorocarbon leader, at least 8 or 10 inches long where my hook is. And I just use a simple number 6 or number 4 bait holder hook tied directly to the leader, and about 6 to 8 inches up, a large split shot. Is it windy or is it my imagination?
Oh, I tell you, it's a hurricane. I don't remember them putting up warnings for it, but gale force wind, I don't see it. He's got it in his mouth. There we go.
Got him?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
There we go.
I get as much fun watching people hook fish, you know, than actually fishing.
I
It's
do.
the
I get the
same
same fun.
satisfaction.
You're 100% right.
So what are we doing here? We could be at home by the fireplace, making dinner, vacuuming and stuff. I know why we're here, because we're getting walleye.
That's right, baby.
And it's not Wednesday.
No, but it will be shortly when we release it.
Nice fish.
That is nice.
Now, did he want it? I don't know if everybody can see at home. Look it. Can you see where that hook is? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He took it. Mr. Walleye, back into your world.
See you later, Walter.
Beautiful. When I'm fishing a tip-up and I'm using medium to larger size minnows, which work really well for walleye, I make sure that when I hook my minnow, I hook it so that it still enables it to swim around. It's like little fire drills all the time. Notice, though, we're not setting the hook real fast, seeing if the fish is there. Yes, he's there. Ooh, he's fighting nicely. Notice the air temperature's dropped. I can see ice forming on the hole on the surface. Nice walleye. They're so long and slender. You can see this walleye isn't that yellow. Normally, walleye that are yellow come out of weedy areas. The waters that we're fishing here is rock bottom, very clear water. Okay, should take right off. There he goes. Now what we're doing, you know, the actual setup that we have on these TipNJIgs is very simple. I have a big split shot that's about 6 or 8 inches up. This is a number 6 size bait holder hook. So it's a pretty standard hook they use for bait fishing. And this last piece of line here is a fluorocarbon leader, about 8 pound test. The rest of the line is 10 pound test braided line. The bait fish that we're using are emerald shiners, and they're about 3 to 4 inches long. And I'm hooking it just behind the dorsal and just below the back, not too deep. So I've got him in the hole, and you can see that he's got tons of energy. This week, I'm really excited to be using the TipNJIg Complete Ice Fishing System. This is a very unique system because it combines a rod handle where you can interchange the rod tips to a light, medium, or heavy blank. And you can do that right on the ice. It comes equipped with a spinning reel. It has a base that supports the actual tip-up mechanism, and then also a very strike-sensitive trigger. When you put your line on it, when it's set as a tip-up, even the smallest fish take is registered. A flag flies up, and then the fish starts to move the rod, and the rod can move up and down, and the fish can even try to pull out line. The rod handle has a special locking mechanism. It's like a hook, so that when a fish really pulls on it, especially if it's a big fish, and the rod is starting to tilt and is pulled towards the hole, that little mechanism protects the rod from being pulled into the water. You know, the one thing that I wanted to share with you is two really popular baits when walleye are close to the bottom and they're not aggressively searching for food. The first ones, especially if you're jigging, are called the jigging rapala. This is a jigging rapala in my left hand, and this in my right hand is called a snap wrap. So you can see that they both are lures that you hook in the center on top, so they actually lay horizontal like this when they're on your line. When you jig them, the snap wrap will actually glide away quite a bit from the hole. The jigging rapala will make more of a figure eight. Now, both of these work really well when you're jigging close to the bottom, but what I find is that because they're smaller lures, they're rigged with smaller hooks. I take those hooks off, and they have a very nice snapping device that enables you to take the treble hook on, and I put on one that's 2 or 3 times bigger.
Oh, nice.
I saw that.
Oh, he came up quick.
We've got an advantage.
Oh, he came up quick.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes, on the jigging rapala.
Yep.
Now look at that. That jigging rapala is just in the snout. Look at, perfect. Nice walleye again.
Nice walleye.
Look at,
Yeah.
gorgeous colors.
Yeah.
I don't think they mind the wind, right?
No, they like the cold.
Okay, I'm gonna put him back. Wow, that was quick.
Great
Now
release.
look, how many of the fish percentage-wise do you get jigging here, or do you get them on tip-ups and minnows?
Mostly dead sticking, yeah. The tip-ups is the way to go.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Yamaha, conquer outdoors. Dickies, quality workwear since 1922. Blue Cam, a cleaner running engine for a cleaner environment.
You know, what I love about the system is that when a fish hits, it has so much give that you don't have to run and jump right on it and set the hook. We've actually watched some of the fish on there, walked up slowly, taking the rod off just like this one. Fish is still on, it's not spooked, set the hook and you fight it. Great system to make sure that when that fish grabs that live bait, it actually holds onto it until you get there.